Well, greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Monday, December 28, 2020. I'd like to bring you more information pertaining to the bombing that took place in Nashville, Tennessee. The suspect ID'd in that said bombing is Mr. Anthony Quinn Warner, who perished in the bombing of an RV on Christmas Day in Nashville, Tennessee. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to ABC News. Bomber to neighbor. The world is never going to forget me. It seemed like a friendly chat between neighbors, only after a bomb exploded in downtown Nashville on Christmas morning could Rick Law grasp the sinister meaning behind his neighbor's smiling remark that the city and the rest of the world would never forget him. Law told the Associated Press on Monday that he was speechless when he learned the authorities identified his 63-year-old neighbor, Anthony Quinn Warner, as the man suspected of detonating a bomb that killed himself, injured 3 other people, and damaged dozens of buildings. Law said he saw Warner standing at his mailbox less than a week before Christmas and pulled over in his car to talk. After asking how Warner's elderly mother was doing, Law said he casually asked, "Is Santa going to bring you anything good for Christmas?" Warner smiled and said, "Oh, yeah. Nashville and the world is never going to forget me," Law recalled. Law said he didn't think much of the remark and thought Warner only meant that something good was going to happen for him financially. Nothing about this guy raising any red flags, Law said. He was just quiet. Warner left behind clues that suggest he planned the bombing and intended to kill himself, but a clear motive remains elusive. We hope to get an answer. Sometimes it's just not possible, David Ross, the director of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, said Monday in an interview on NBC Today's show. The best way to find motive is to talk to the individual. We will not be able to do that in this case. Investigators are analyzing Warner's belongings collected during the investigation, including a computer and a portable storage drive, and continue to interview witnesses as they try to identify a motive for the explosion. A law enforcement official said, "A view of his financial transactions also uncovered purchases of potential bomb-making components," the official said. Warner had recently given away a vehicle and told the person he gave it to that he had been diagnosed with cancer, though it is unclear whether he indeed had cancer, the official said. Investigators used some items collected from the vehicle, including a hat and gloves, to match Warner's DNA, and DNA was taken from one of his family members, the official said. The official could not discuss the matter publicly and spoke to the AP on condition of anonymity. Warner also apparently gave away his home in Antioch, a Nashville suburb, to a Los Angeles woman a month before the bombing. A property record dated November 25th indicates Warner transferred the home to the woman in exchange for no money after living there for decades. The woman's signature is not on that document. Warner had worked as a computer consultant for Nashville real estate agent Steve Friedrich, who told the AP in a text message that Warner had said he was retiring earlier this month. Officials said Warner had not been on their radar before Christmas. A law enforcement report released Monday showed that Warner's only arrest was for a 1978 marijuana-related charge. It does appear that the intent was more destruction than death, but again, that's all still speculation at this point as we continue our investigation with all our partners, Ross added. Furthermore, officials have not provided insight into why Warner selected the particular location for the bombing, which damaged an AT&T building and continued to wreak havoc on cell phone service and police and hospital communications in several southern states as the company worked to restore service. Forensic analysts were reviewing evidence from the blast site to try to identify the components of the explosives as well as information from the U.S. Bomb Data Center for Intelligence and Investigative Leads, according to a law enforcement official who said investigators were examining Warner's digital footprint and financial history. The official, who was not authorized to discuss an ongoing investigation and spoke to the AP on condition of being anonymous, said federal agents were examining a number of potential leads and pursuing several theories, including the possibility that the AT&T building was targeted. Korneski said Sunday that officials were looking at any and all motives and were interviewing acquaintances of Warner's to try to determine what may have motivated him. The bombing took place on a holiday morning well before downtown streets were bustling with activity and was accompanied by a recorded announcement warning anyone nearby that a bomb would soon detonate. Then, for reasons that may never be known, the audio switched to a recording of Petula Clark's 1964 hit, Downtown, shortly before the blast. In addition to the DNA found at the blast site, investigators from the Tennessee Highway Patrol were able to link the vehicle identification number recovered from the wreckage to an RV registered to Warner, officials said. We're still following leads, but right now there is no indication that any other persons were involved, Kornetsky said. We've reviewed hours of security video surrounding the recreation vehicle. We saw no other people involved. With some reports from Washington and Lavoie from Richmond, Virginia, Associated Press journalists Scott Stroud and Mark Humphrey in Nashville, Michael Kunzelman in College Park, Maryland, and Eric Tucker in Washington contributed to this report, and this is by ABC News if you need verification for the storyline. So this information is basically saying, allegedly, a neighbor, Mr. Rick Laud, spoke to Mr. Warner a week before asking how his mother was doing and if Santa was going to bring him anything good, and the reply from Mr. Warner is that, oh yeah, Nashville and the world is never going to forget me, Laud recalled. So I don't know if these are actual words that came out of the dead man's mouth, because that's the whole point. A dead man tells no tales, so they say. But he seemed like he spoke to people, because now we're verifying 3 or so people who have spoken to the man. It's Mr. Laud, the couple across the street, and parties that live next door. So he wasn't too unfriendly, because they all spoke to him. And obviously knew him having a mother, a sick mother. But nonetheless, this is a baffling tale. One of those, as the agent or official said, you're not going to really know what was going on with Mr. Warner because he's no longer living to tell what happened and what he was thinking and why he did this. So all they have to go on is whatever he left behind, which, would be notes, diaries, audio recordings, video recordings, and or computer devices, phones that could allude to text messaging, commentary. As I stated in the previous video I just brought you, he wasn't on any social media sites such as Facebook, so you don't get to see if he had any comments or rants or raves. It just may be, we never know what prompted this man to build a bomb and detonate it downtown Nashville, Tennessee, and then take his own life. If indeed AT&T was the target, we may never know. But we will see what the FBI gathers and what they decide to divulge to the public. It is a baffling tale. I mean, my mind is befuddled trying to figure out what was on Mr. Warner's mind at the time. As the previous video I just brought to you of the Downtown song by Miss Petula Clark, what was the meaning behind playing that song from the loudspeaker? Did he have some type of significance in his life at one time? As I stated to you all in that video, he was a child when that song was out. So what was the meaning of that song to him? Or did it even play any significance in his life? It's just a song that he chose just because it had downtown in the lyrics. We will not know. But nonetheless, the wordings of the song, the lyrics, says a lot about a lonely person wanting to go downtown to get away from it all, to bask into the sounds of the lights and the people walking by and the shopping to make me feel better. And as I say, perhaps these were feelings he had. He was a lonely person. He felt lonely. Perhaps, like I said, at one time he went downtown, Nashville downtown, to enjoy the sights and scenery as a child or as an adult. I do not know. All this is speculation. But I am curious to the issue of him parking the RV back into his yard, because the neighbor says it was parked in the drive, and then he moved it into the yard, which was fenced in, and it leads me to wonder if perhaps the paranoia had got the best of him, and he said, I'm going to put this bad boy in this yard because I've got some business to take care of, which was building the bomb. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he needed all the privacy to go back and forth from the house or possibly assembling it inside of the RV. I'm sure it was big enough for him to do whatever he needed to do. And he wanted to have it in the privacy of his yard where no one could see, no one could pull up, no one could question him coming and going out of it, even though it was his. But you know how we have nosy neighbors, they like to ask lots of questions. So he had it parked inside of his yard. Since then, no one can question him going in and out of the RV, carrying in components to build a bomb. Riveting tale. When I get more information pertaining to the story of Mr. Warner, why he committed this crime and killed himself, did he indeed choose the AT&T building as the sole target? What is the relation to the lady, Miss Swing, out in California? What is her relation to the dead man? Why did he deed her those 2 homes? What other issues was he having with family or whomever? Someone commented about an issue with his mother and the house, a dispute about the house. I don't know, but as I stated to you all in a previous video, usually that's when people turn houses over to other people and cars and things because they're having financial issues and they want to hide things. Not, for instance, if someone else has a stake in the said property, home, building, whatever, they get rid of it and switch names because they don't want the other party to get part of the home, building, real estate. You understand where I'm going? And now this article states he gave away a car to someone else. So it appears that Mr. Warner had been crossing all his T's and dotting his I's for this grand finale that took place on Christmas morning in Nashville, Tennessee. He was getting all his ducks in a row. That is obvious. As I state, when I get more information pertaining to this horrific story, I will bring this said information. Thanks for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Mask Up America. COVID is real. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.